Hi everyone, let's go over my low time frame and micro bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin. Starting with the low time frame bearish scenario, where we still expect a move to the downside in either a wave Y or a wave C, where the most common targets for wave Y and wave C are pretty much at the same level, between 29.5k and 28.9k. Also in confluence with the blue support area that we have over here, sitting between 28.9k and 29.1k. If we go to the more rare targets of wave Y, you can see that these are in confluence with the other blue support box over here, sitting between 27.8k and 28.2k. If we then go to the micro scenario, this is the bearish scenario where we're going to see continuation to the downside in a zigzag, which is an ABC. Wave A being a 5-wave structure, 3 waves in B, and now we're going to be looking for a 5-wave move to the downside in a wave C. Has to be said that a diagonal doesn't work. A diagonal in a wave C, meaning an ending diagonal, which is also a 5-wave structure, but then you're going to have trend lines that are going to be looking like this, like they're contracting. The reason it doesn't really work is because in a diagonal, you want to see that wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, but you do like to see the low of wave 1 to be taken. At the moment, this low and this low on my chart, Coinbase, are exactly at the same price. But the 1-to-1, which would invalidate a wave 3 of a diagonal, because then if price is passing this 1-to-1 over here, taken from the high to the low of 1 to the high of 2, you don't want to see a wave 3 being longer than wave 1 in a contracting diagonal. And if price is going to hit this 1-to-1, it means this is going to be a longer wave. But this 1-to-1 is very close below the wave 1. And you do want a wave 3 to go below a wave 1. So yeah, diagonal doesn't really work, doesn't look very nice. So in this scenario, I would therefore be looking for an impulsive structure, which is then a 5-wave move to the downside in a wave C, where the most common target area for this wave C, taken from the high to the low of A to the high of this B, is again positioned around that target box that we have at 29k. So that is quite interesting. If we then look at the target for a wave 3, the 1.618 is usually the one that you want to see. And the only bit of confluence that we have around this level is this low from A. So there may be a wick before then starting a range in a 4 and 5 is, in my opinion, the only option. But I'm not really happy that this wave 3 over here doesn't have a lot of confluence except for this low. If we look at where wave B ended, it ended around the golden pocket, which is a common target for a wave B. And now then in a wave 3, you want to see continuation. If we look at this wave 3 at the moment, yes, we had some high volume over here at the highs with the news kicking in as well, but now the volume has been drying up pretty much. If this is a wave 1, 2, and then a 3, you want to see the volume staying relatively high. You want to see continuation, and currently price is bouncing on that support area I mentioned yesterday a couple of times between 30.1k and 30.3k. We also have a local resistance area over here, which preferably you don't see in this particular scenario because you want to see a wave 3 to the downside, which is like continuation. But this resistance area is between 30.6k and 30.8k. If we then go to the more, let's say, bullish scenario where we do expect a bit more downside still, we have again a zigzag and then an ABC, but in this particular scenario, the wave B is not yet finished. We are still in a 3-wave structure, and then a wave W, zigzag in a wave X, for then a Y to the upside, and then we see a continuation to the downside. In this particular scenario, we are then looking inside wave X for a zigzag structure, which is a 5-3-5, meaning this is wave A, then we have a 3-wave in a wave B, and this is a wave C to the downside, where the most common target area for a wave C is between the wide fips, the 1 to the 1.236, taken from the high to the low of A to the high of B. Now, what is nice about this scenario is that, first of all, the 1-to-1 is now a target that you want to hit. It is right below the double bottom, and we also have a daily around that same level at 31.68. So we're going to hit the daily, take the double bottom, hit the 1-to-1, and then you want to see a reversal. And if price would potentially go a bit deeper towards the 1.236, that's absolutely fine, where we also have a daily at 29.9k, and we have a double bottom as well for then maybe a liquidity grab hitting the daily before then a move to the upside again. So this is very, very interesting. Currently, what you can also see, and this is harmonic knowledge, is that wave W over here hit the golden pocket taken from the high to the low of this wave A. Interesting, because at the moment price over here is also hitting the golden pocket taken from the low of A to the high of W. And there is a harmonic, and I always forget if it's the butterfly or you know which one. I never really went 100% in harmonics, but there's one that I always remember, which is golden pocket, 786, move down. For the harmonic traders, please let me know which one that is. I always forget. So then yeah, hitting this golden pocket and being around the golden pocket can be interesting for that scenario, where then the 786 is going to be an interesting target at 31.1k, where we are then also going to take the double top over here at 31k. And I think that's very interesting. We have a bit of an order block over here as well for then some resistance and then a move towards the downside. It does mean we have to pass this resistance area as mentioned before, but in a wave Y you expect a 3-wave structure. So that can be like a wave 1, 2, and then a 3-wave structure to the upside before then you get a impulsive structure in a wave C to the downside. If we go to the CVD divergences, the bearish CVD divergences have, well, one could say played out or not yet played out. On my chart, these lows are exactly the same price as mentioned, but we have a lower high on price, higher high on the CVD, which is a bearish CVD divergence, with the target then being this low over here. And if I quickly check another chart to see if the low has been taken, then on the Bybit chart, it has not been taken. So yeah, the bearish CVD divergence still active on both of these charts. And we also have a bullish CVD divergence, where we then have a higher low on price, where the target is going to be this high, lower low on the CVD. If we then go to the CVD, go to the 50-minute quick refresh, you can see over here, higher low on price, but both on yellow as well as on blue, you can even look at the horizontal colored lines, they are lower, so lower low on the CVDs, higher low on price, bullish CVD divergence. And on yellow specifically, you can see more locally, lower high on price, but on yellow a higher high on the CVD, which is a bearish CVD divergence. And more locally over here, not much is going on considering CVD. Today again, there is going to be news at 2:30 p.m. Central East European time, so make sure you trade safe around this time because it might be volatile once more. Of course, over here yesterday we had a bit of news already and it kicked in some volatility, which is exactly what I like to see. So that is actually very nice. Before then we had this move towards the downside. And if we finally talk about the probabilities, well, on the low time frame, I showed you only the bearish scenario, so I am looking for a continuation to the downside. But on the micro, I really like this scenario specifically in an A, B, C, where we're first going to take the double bottom, then the double top, and then move down. For me, it just feels a little bit better with everything that I explained, considering the wave 3 target. Diagonal doesn't work. The volume, you know, if this is a wave 3, you want to see volume kicking in. It's a bit more sideways at the moment. You know, based on everything I mentioned, the more bullish scenario at the moment feels better. I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'd like to see you at the next one. Bye bye.